my fight fans? So, Khamzat Chimaev did an interview with Ariel Helwani. He finally came out. He finally spoke. It's been a while since we heard from him. I believe we haven't really heard from him since this whole fiasco that he had back in September with Nate Diaz and not making weight. He talked about that as well. He said that he just had some trouble. I believe he started cutting weight late and just couldn't make that weight. He was even possibly going to go to the hospital, but he did not want to go to the hospital because he might not be able to fight on that card. We already know he came in 8 pounds overweight. He ended up fighting Kevin Holland and stopping Kevin Holland. So it was just a whole big mess that happened at that time. We already been through it. No need to go through it anymore. But he talked about what's going on with him recently. He's talking about, how he wants to come back. And more likely he's coming back at middleweight. And what he wants to do is return to the octagon in July. He wants to return possibly International Fight Week. And he wants to face anybody in the top division. Anybody, he's actually talked about where he could have fought Kobe Covington. He was booked up to fight that, but the fight did not come into fruition. We really know Kobe Covington. He had talked about that as well, but he said Khamzat didn't want no part of that. There's always three sides to the story: their side, his side, and the truth. We don't know. We're never gonna know. But at the end of the day, the fight did not happen. So no point in talking that. He also talked about fighting Robert Whittaker, but that fight did not go into fruition either. And we already know that he actually called out Alex Pereira, but we already know that fight was never gonna happen. Alex Pereira had beat Israel Adesanya in November, and he wanted to fight him in like December or in January, but that was just way too soon and such. That fight was never ever going to happen. And never, you got Alex Pereira, he cut weight to the middleweight division and then he pretty much moved back up. So it just that was not going to happen whatsoever. So, but with this first fight comeback, who do you think Khamzat Chimaev should face in the middleweight division? Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of hope they do make that Robert Whittaker fight because Robert Whittaker has not had a dance partner since, I'm not even sure when. I know, I want to say he fought maybe Jared Cannonier. I think he fought Marvin Vettori last. And that's been his last fight. I can't remember exactly the date, but yeah, I think he has not been relatively active. And he was actually scheduled to face Paulo Costa in February, but Paulo Costa pretty much was not able to make that fight happen. He pretty much wanted more money, something around that, and it just did not happen. And he's been trying his best to get himself a fight now, and that would actually be a very fun fight. I would be very interested to see that. I think these guys would make one hell of a great fight with each other. Khamzat Chimaev is just a beast. He's a beast in any division because we know he fights in 2 different divisions, and he's already talking about possibly even going up to light heavyweight. He wants to be the first guy to collect all 3 belts in welterweight, in middleweight, and light heavyweight. That's a lot, and that's no easy task because there's a lot of killers in all these divisions. So with that being said, he already wants to go to middleweight. At middleweight, I don't know. There's a lot of good contenders out there. I know Michael Bisping had mentioned that he could see a possible Sean Strickland. That would actually be a very fun matchup. You got the trash talking both going. They're both talking a lot of smack to each other. Bad guy versus bad guy. That would be a very fun matchup. Again, you got Robert Whittaker, who is waiting for an opponent. I could definitely see that fight happening for sure. And then, of course, you got the winner. He just fought last Saturday, Marvin Vettori. He just got a victory himself, so why not get a shot with him? There you go. You got some really good contenders out there. You got some really good contenders in the middleweight division. Right now, the middleweight championship is being booked up already for April. UFC 287, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Hell, you never know. Maybe Izzy actually beats Alex Pereira, which could be a good chance, and there actually might be a part 6. Because these guys already fought 2 in boxing, or I think 2 in boxing, and then 1 in the UFC now. So these guys can be pretty much going back and forth, left and right, rematch after rematch after rematch. So the middleweight championship might be held up for a while. So with that being said, who knows who Khamzat Chimaev could be facing next? We already know he wants to keep busy. We already know that he wants to come back in July, and he wants to fight again in October. Khamzat Chimaev has had a history of fighting multiple times ever since before he had COVID, I guess you should say. But after he had COVID, he had some difficulties and challenges. But now he's trying to do his best to keep himself busy, and hopefully he does come back in July because he is one hell of a fighter. He always brings his A game, and he's always must-see TV. He's always very exciting to see. So, guys, let me know in the comments on who you think Khamzat Chimaev should face in his middleweight debut or middleweight Ken debut, because we already know he fought at middleweight once before. But who should his first fight be against at middleweight with the top contenders that we have now? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.